Welcome 8th graders to our 1.3 1.4 review video. So let's start out with an example. Solve the formula for the red variable. So the area of a rectangle, because A equals base times height. So A is our area, B is base, H is height. And remember BH, that's B times H. Well, again, they want to solve for right here, this variable in red. So I'm going to make my t-chart. And let's see, if I want to solve for B, that means I want B by itself. Well, what's in the way of B being by itself? H, right? And how do I get rid of H? Well, that's B times H. So to get rid of a times H, I'm going to divide by H on both sides, right? So B times H divided by H leaves me with just B. And on the left side, A divided by H is, well, A divided by H. So there I have it. That's all I needed to do. Base of a rectangle is the area of the rectangle divided by the height. A equals B divided by H. Let's do another one. This one has a little bit more going on. So the equation for a surface area of a cylinder is S equals 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. Okay, so let's just kind of break down a couple of things in this equation. So S is surface area, R is radius, and H is height. And again, they just want me to solve for this variable right here, okay? So I'm going to do the same thing as last time. There's just a little bit more in the way. So what's in the way of H being by itself? Well, 2 pi r squared, and this is all together. This is one term. We're going to keep it together. We're not going to think of it as a 2, a pi, and an r squared. It's 2 pi r squared. It's all together. The other thing that's in the way is this just 2 pi r. So let's see. I'm going to make my t-chart, and we're going to decide what we're going to get rid of first. So who is H's best friend? Well, let's look right here. Ooh, that's not what I wanted, but okay, there we go. Right, H is right here, its bestie is 2 pi r, right? 2 pi r is one person in this case. They are best friends. So we're going to leave 2 pi r around the longest, and we're going to get rid of that 2 pi r squared first. Well, that's a positive 2 pi r squared, right? So to get rid of positive 2 pi r squared, we're going to minus it. So minus 2 pi r squared on the right, minus 2 pi r squared on the left. So on the left, we're left with S minus 2 pi r squared, right? That's all we can do. S minus 2 pi r squared. And on the right, well, 2 pi r squared minus 2 pi r squared cancels out. We're just left with that 2 pi r h. Okay, now let's just keep going. So remember, H is what we're, whoops, I want highlighter. H is what we're solving for. Let's see, our best friend 2 pi r is right here. Let's get rid of 2 pi r. Well, how do we get rid of 2 pi r? Well, that's 2 pi r. Just think of it as 2 pi r times h. So how do we get rid of 2 pi r times? We're going to divide by 2 pi r. That whole entity we're going to divide it by. Divided by 2 pi r. So 2 pi r divided by 2 pi r, those cancel out. I'm just left with h on the right. Now on my left, s minus 2 pi r squared divided by 2 pi r. And there's my answer. If you love simplifying, you could simplify this a little bit more, but it would still be a little bit complicated. So if you want in your free time to simplify it more, you can and check it with me, but I would accept this as a correct answer right here. You solved for h. And just remember, so the one biggest mistake I would see in this problem is that when you go in this step right here, s minus 2 pi r, remember you're dividing that whole entire s minus 2 pi r by 2r. Not one of the terms, but both terms. You're dividing everything on the left side by 2 pi r. So just be careful with that when you solve equations. Okay, last problem. The circles are identical. What is the area of each circle? Well, let's see, my problem I'm trying to answer is what is the area of each circle? Let's see, what's my important information? Well, let's see, the circles are identical. That's important. So, right, they're equal. Everything about them is equal. Their radiuses, their areas, their circumference, that's all equal. And let's see, what else do I know? Well, right here, this is x plus 2. Well, remember that distance right here, that's our radius on this circle. And let's see, this right here, this 4x, well, that's our diameter, right? Our diameter on that circle is 4x. Well, let's see, if we're talking about area, let's just kind of look. Area is pi, so area of a circle is equal to pi r squared, right? So A's area is equal to pi times the radius r squared. Well, let's look at this. So, we don't know our radius. Well, we do know our radius is x plus 2, right? Our radius is x plus 2. We don't know an actual number. And because our circles are identical, our green circle with the radius of x plus 2, our purple circle also has a radius of x plus 2, right? It's not labeled on there, but it also has a radius of x plus 2. So let's see, we're going to write that the radius of green circle equals radius of purple circle, okay? Because, right, they're identical, so their areas are equal, radiuses are equal, diameters are equal, circumferences are equal, everything about them is equal. Well, we know the radius, they're telling us, of the green circle is x plus 2, right? And well, let's see, we know that's equal to the purple circle has the same radius, but right, it looks like also they gave us on the purple circle a diameter of 4x. Well, let's see if we can use that to find right now a radius of that circle. So let's see, if 4x is the diameter, remember the radius is half of the diameter. So the radius is just this part right here. So if the diameter is 4x, the radius is going to be 4x divided by 2, which is 2x, right? So the radius, purple circle is 2x, and they have to be equal. So we know x plus 2 has to be 2x. Now look at this. I have an equation with variables on both sides, and I'm going to solve it for x. So then I can find out my radius and figure out the area of the circles. So let's see. Let's go through and find like terms. So x, that's a variable. Let's see. 2 is a constant in number, and 2x is a variable. Well, let's see. Since there's only variables on the right, let's put all of our variables on the right, and we'll have constants go on the left. So let's see. If I want just constants on the left, that means I just want that blue 2, right? So I got to get rid of that x. How do I get rid of that x? I'm going to, well, this is a plus x, right? It's a positive x. I'm going to subtract x on the right, so I subtract it on the left. And x plus 2 minus x, my x's cancel out. I'm left with 2 on the left. On my right, 2x minus x. Well, let's see. Remember, this is the same as, right, a 1x, 1x, 1x. So if I have 2 x's and I take away 1x, I'm just left with 1x. Or I can also write it as just an x. So x is equal to 2. And remember, let's go back. Let's look. X, let's see, helps us find our radius, right? So x, and go back up here, it's going to help us find our radius, remember? So radius equals x plus 2. So let's see, well, x is 2, so 2 plus 2 is our radius. So 4 is our radius. And again, what would happen if you plugged x into this radius formula? You would get the same thing, right? 2 times 2 is 4. So we know our radius is 4. And did that answer our question? Wait, our question is, what is the area of the circle? So let's see. Area of a circle is area equals, remember, pi r squared. We know our radius is 4, so let's plug that in when we see an r. Area is equal to pi times 4 squared. Well, let's simplify that. Pi times, well, 4 squared is 16. Well, what is pi times 16? That's just 16 pi. Don't type it into your calculator. If you look at all the examples, they're in terms of pi. So my area is 16 pi. I go up here. Oh, it looks like my answer was C, 16 pi. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great day.